What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with us. Anybody coming in during the stream, thanks so much for taking time out of your day. Anybody watching after the stream, thanks so much again. What's going on, Jake?
What's
Today,
up?
today is the day, my friend. Today we get
Preseason.
Laker basketball, first game of the Lakers preseason. I'm really excited for that. Um,
Let's
so
do it.
right off the bat, let's dive right into it. What are some of the things, some of the takeaways, some of the things you're going to be looking for this preseason before the season? Not the season. Leave the season out of it. Just preseason. What do you want to
Yeah.
see preseason leading into the regular season?
I'm looking for Jill. Looking for like just that cohesive team effort. Just like honestly, people getting everybody getting used to each other. Just simple, like really just the simple fundamentals.
Yeah.
Because we really need our bench to be strong this year. Like we really need our bench to be strong, and that's who is most likely going to be playing during the preseason. So, yeah, no, really, just looking to see the team chemistry, a lot of energy. Really, I really want to see the energy, and yeah, and just prove that like a lot of in the tough spots that they can get in and they can kind of climb out of too. So, without necessarily needing a star to come save them, because I feel like that's huge. When you have a bench that can do
I'm
that,
a
you're nearly
hero.
unstoppable.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. As far as like, I just preseason is the time to work out all the kinks. It's the time to see like what sets work, this, that, and the other. And like
Oh
that's
yeah.
what I want to see with this. Like I don't want to look too much into wins and losses. Like I don't want people to look too heavily into like, oh, we lost these games, we won these games. I mean, obviously you don't want to lose every preseason game, but how did we lose? What
Yeah.
were the ways that went into us losing? Stuff like that. If we were to lose, like all of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, you can't put too much, even if we win every game. Like,
Yeah.
if we win let's say we win all 6 games by 30, we got to calm expectations. We got to calm our excitement. As tough as it is, like
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
included, because if we're blowing teams out, I'm going to be like, yes, I told you. But
Right?
it's preseason. You never know. I just want to see, like, are the play sets working? Are we doing what we are supposed to be doing? Are we, making the steps necessary to, to get positives if we do lose? What were the positives in the loss? What were the negatives in the loss? uh,
Yeah.
Even if we win, what were the negatives in that loss? What were the positives in that loss? Because there's always good and bad in both situations.
That's
And
true.
and we need those foundations. Yeah, we won, but what did it look good in our victory that we need to improve on and get better for
Yeah.
season time? Okay, yeah, we won. We won by 30, but what was there that was bad that we need to improve on, that, for the season? Also, all the good stuff. Like, what was good that we can take, that we can continue to build in that positive man? Both sides of the coin, I feel, need to be addressed.
Yeah.
We can't just look one way or another. We can't just look at the positives, just look at the negatives. It has to be a total package.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How do you feel about preseason? Do you feel like it should still be you you feel like it should still be like implemented? Should we make it longer? Should we make it shorter? How do you feel about
I like where it's at. It's 6 games now. Like, I think that's fair. I mean, it's just like any other sport. The stars, they're not like LeBron's not going to be playing 40 minutes a game. It's
it?
just to kind of get your feet wet. Kind of get in the real game rhythm. Like, none of these guys are really trying to kill themselves. Like, none of the guys for the Lakers are going to be going 110% trying to get away. Like, if the
Yeah.
game's tight, the Lakers are probably going to go a lot harder in a regular season game if the game's tight than a preseason game. If the
Yeah.
game kind of gets away from them, they're not going to kill themselves to try to get back into it. They're just going to kind of run their sets, continue
Yeah.
to operate, on just the way that the team wants to perform, getting in. Like,
Yeah.
that's what this is for, and that's goes into like what we need to keep in mind when we're looking at this upcoming just preseason period. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that we're probably going to do in preseason that we might not necessarily do in the regular season, because
That's true.
you're trying to figure stuff out. Does this work? Does that work? Does this not work? Does that not work? And,
Yeah.
and you're going to do different lineups and different sets and things like that, because you want to position yourself the best way possible to
Yeah.
find out what's working and what's not. I imagine that we get different lineup changes and different switch ups and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
So what
yeah,
you're saying is we should try literally like a whole bunch of different like rotations, see if they work, see what doesn't work, and just literally just like run them all through.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like, like cuz like I said, this is your opportunity to see and test stuff out. You
Yeah.
know, can you play Damian Jones and Thomas Bryant together? Like preseason's the time to do that. Because last thing you want to do is do that in the regular season in like a key moment or something, and it just goes miserably, and you end up losing a game because of it, or you end up putting yourself in a hole because of it, or something like
Yeah.
that. This is a time to see, can Schroeder and Westbrook play together?
I
During the
literally was
preseason.
just about to ask you that question. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
we gotta test that out. Yeah.
yeah, like can they share the court together?
Yeah.
Can Nunn and Beverly share the court together? Like,
Yeah.
how do the three operate? Now is your time to kind of work through the kinks and stuff like all of that stuff is stuff that I think is important um, when you're talking preseason and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Test your lineups, experiment a little. Don't be afraid to do different things than you may have done otherwise, because
Exactly.
you might not have that luxury to do that in a real game where it counts and you're trying to get every win possible.
Yeah.
So that's something else too. What's going on, Blook? I just want to say hello to a couple people in the
Blucka
chat.
Blucka.
What's going on, LA Sports
LA
Live?
Sports Live.
How are you? Great. Thank you all so very much for being here. I'm excited. I'm excited for preseason and stuff. But what what do you want to see from like LeBron, Davis, Westbrook, and then them collectively? What stuff that you hope to see during the preseason?
I want to see, particularly from those three, and I'll start individually, then I'll kind of do as like a collective three.
Yeah,
Westbrook, I honestly just want to see like leadership, but like on and off the ball. So like leadership, talking, communicating, and just kind of running his offense because that's what his position's there for. Like he's
yeah,
a point guard, so like I feel like I just want to see him just run the offense and just run it like how you believe he can, and many others. I'm almost on that boat. I'm being optimistic for the season. So no, I just want to see just leadership from Russ. A little bit of domination too, and just kind of be able to lead and not turn the ball over so much, and little things like that. But from LeBron, I would like to see just kind of that. Well, just really he's LeBron, so I want LeBron to do what LeBron always does,
yeah,
and just which is just like spread his IQ along the floor and just switch up plays, switch defenses, things like that. Just kind of run the ship, not necessarily hands on running the ship, but just kind of run it from like really just afar. Um, and as far as Anthony Davis goes, believe it or not, I actually want to see more aggression from him. Like I want to see him like I want to see people be afraid of Anthony Davis in the paint. Like, if you have to guard Anthony Davis, I want them to be like afraid. I want him to be that like, that dominant. And I'm not saying that players aren't right now, but I just doesn't really seem like the conversation around the league. Like, oh, he's one to fear. But I just kind of want to see him like really get in people's faces and just slam it down. Really. As the three total, I want to see a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of lobs, things like that. So
okay, yeah, and likewise, like I want to see the sets and the type of offense that they've been working on. I want to see Russ set the screens,
yeah,
play the defense, do the things. Like I want to see the improvement. So there were even reports that Russ worked on his shot this offseason and
yeah.
actually changed his shooting form and has been better and more efficient
Ooh,
shooting
okay.
shooting the basketball. Training camp scrimmages are much different than an
Yeah,
actual game. So that's a big thing too for me. But I want to see those improvements. I want to see those adjustments. I want to see those the sacrifices that and the commitment that he's said that he's willing to make and he's willing to take on and do.
yeah,
I need to see those types of things from him. And then from just LeBron standpoint, it's preseason, so I don't expect too much craziness from him.
yeah,
But I want to see him operate in the play sets. How does he play off of Westbrook? How does Westbrook play off of him? You know, uh, we know how him and Davis work, but how does he play with the other guys that he's
yeah,
running with? How is him and Damian Jones? How is him and Kendrick Nunn? Things along those lines. Like those are all things I want to see improvement. And then Anthony Davis, Like I want to see Anthony Davis if he even plays, because there was talks. Actually, yeah, let's look that up real quick and see if he's playing, because there was that he was probable for tomorrow because of back tightness, which
Ooh.
a lot of people are freaking out on. I don't really think anything of it, because usually that's teams go to
Yeah.
when they want the player to sit, when
Yeah.
they don't want to play them, or they want to play them limited minutes. Oh, well, it's preseason. We don't want him to hurt himself, with back
Yeah.
tightness. But so Lonnie Walker's supposed to be expected to clear. Um, let's see. On Anthony Davis before tonight's game. Now this works. Um, I don't see anything yet about him actually playing. But nonetheless, whether he plays or not, um, whenever he finally does play, I need to see him be the be the guy that we know he can be.
Yeah.
I need to see him knocking down shots from the outside. I need to see him, playing defense, sticking with his man on the perimeter. You know, uh, doing all the intangibles, making plays for others, getting the rebounds, and just going stuff like that. All of those things I think are very important for this team
Yeah.
in general. And I want to see all three of them. I want to see how they operate. I want to see how they work. I want to see how, you know, Darvin Ham's sort of play sets and play calling. How is this going to fit with those three? Because he seems to believe it's working. I need to see some of that. It's not. We're not going to get heavy sample sizes of these guys. At most they probably play 20 minutes if that. But I need to
Yeah.
see. I need to see some quality from these guys. I need to see positive takeaways, things that we can look at and go, okay, like that looked good. Like I can't
Yeah.
wait to see that play in the regular season. Oh, that was really good. Like I can't wait to see that play in the regular season. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
You think we see LeBron's age a little bit this season? I mean, I know we've seen it before, but the big question about LeBron is when is he gonna wear down? But the guy spends 2 million on his body every year, so
yeah,
it's you know, I
yeah,
mean, I
he's
mean,
another level type of guy. Um, I don't. I think I I think he's got a couple more years before we start seeing real wear and tear. And also, he's changed his game so much the last few years.
yeah,
Became a better jump shooter, so that's good. That's going to add his longevity. He's
he
slowed
has.
down
It's
a
been fun to
lot.
see that improvement too. Like he
Yeah,
could not like his three ball is not where it's at
yeah.
now
And now he's knocking down threes, but like
with his
also
eye
like
poked in.
yeah, I guess whatever. But like he also, you see him, he'll slow the game down a little bit than he did when he was younger. Also, putting his head down and getting to the basket as much. He doesn't do that as much. Um, all of those things I think are the cause of his age.
Yeah,
He's only getting older, so he's trying to put himself in a position to where he can have that longevity, especially over an 82 game season. You don't want to have too much. You want to preserve yourself as much as possible.
yeah,
Like you want to wait till you get to a game seven, you need to close out, and then we get vintage LeBron. Like
yeah,
or we get back to a finals, and LeBron's like, this might be my last finals. Then we see vintage LeBron.
yeah,
82 game season, he can't. I mean, he can't kill himself. Even if like as much as like at times we'll probably really need a win or want to win, but like you can't expect it. Unless it's
yeah.
like a really key game where it's like for standings or something like that, then yeah, maybe. But like last thing you want is him trying to kill himself to, you know, try to just get a regular season win.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. We might see vintage LeBron this season, in because like he got a lot of rest between like the last season and this season, like the start of this season, because there was a span of almost I think 10 years where he went literally almost to like oh not the finals, but like at least a late playoff run for like so many
well, he went
consecutive
to eight
seasons.
straight finals. So he had 8 seasons where he went to a finals
Well,
8 straight years. So
exactly. So now because of last year, he's had more rest. So we might see a vintage LeBron season. This might be a crazy LeBron season. Like we see what LeBron can do with or without really that much rest as the other teams,
yeah,
but he's had an extra month, maybe two of rest. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, hey, look, last time he missed the playoffs, last time he missed the playoffs, they won the finals the following year. So, I don't want to put too much into that. I don't want people to get too excited over that, but it's definitely worth something. you know, it's definitely something
Absolutely.
interesting. But real quick, let's say hello to some people. What's going on, Sha? I appreciate you. What's good?
Shaw,
Let's
what's
get it.
up?
Agreed. Agreed. How many Jakes are we getting from you, Tyler? Well, we got two now. We got this one, and we got the one from the collective.
What? There's another Jake. What?
Yeah, we got the Killjoy Jake from Lethal Collective. Uh, let's go. Our first real test to see LA in action again. Agreed, all things. I cannot wait. I'm very excited to see this, to see them in action. Who do you guys think should start for AD tonight? I feel like it might be JTA. Is AD not playing? I was trying to
Is
find
it
that,
confirmed?
and I did not see anywhere that it says that he's actually not playing. I
I
know
did
he was
not hear that
probable.
either.
I know he was probable, but I don't see anything about him actually not playing. But if he doesn't play, then I imagine I uh I could see JTA getting some burn. I wouldn't be surprised if they start Bryant, and this would be a time to start if AD doesn't play. This would be a good
Yeah,
opportunity to start Bryant and Damian Jones. Have both of them, see if they can play the 4 and the 5. Maybe winning Gabriel if he's got an improved 3-point shot, or because you are playing the Kings, maybe you put LeBron at the 4 this
yeah,
game, and you don't play like maybe Austin Reeves at the 3 this time, and
yeah,
have him like go up against Harrison Barnes, stuff like that.
yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting thought.
I'm curious to see what Reeves did in the offseason too, because I mean I liked
He
him last
looked
season.
he looked
He,
great at some of the video. So like there was a scrimmage game that we got some video and footage on, and he looked great. Like he looked
oh yeah,
really
too.
good.
Guys,
Yeah,
go check that out. If you guys have not seen it, it is in the channel.
yeah. Threw some of that on the channel.
Yeah, no, he looked like last season. Even last season, he looked great, and he's already, like you said, he's already looking great in practice. No, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. Going to have to put the two Jakes in 101 to see who gets to be the future baby daddy. That's an excellent point too. And I think I've known both of the Jakes just as long, so I can't even be like, oh, I've known this one longer, vice versa, because it's been a couple years for both of them. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a good
yeah.
question. I'm gonna have to think on that. But yeah, maybe we just no holds bar, just knife dropped in between, and you know, fight to the death. I'm surprised only 7 people in here. The other channel usually has 100+ people in there. Yeah, but I mean, I grew and I had thousands and thousands of subscribers now over there. Everything takes time, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
we're growing.
appreciate you and everybody being there. We're starting from scratch, and this was a rebranded channel, so a lot of the subscribers, unfortunately, are dead subscribers. But it was a monetized channel, so my whole thing was like, might as well just convert this. So it's going to take a little time. It's going to be a little climb. I know, when you see me streaming on the As It Stands Lakers, I have any time at 200 people, 150 people, sometimes even more than that. I mean, we've had thousands in the streams before, but took a while to get there. This is our third stream. I did it just happen overnight, and I grew a following from As It Stands first that I was able to build on the Lakers channel. So I kind of was able to cheat, which I'm trying to do with this channel. So it took me about 2-3 months to get to where I'm at now on the As It Stands Lakers. So figured it'll probably take about that long here on this channel, and then you start seeing significant people. You start seeing the hundreds like before. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that's here nonetheless. Uh, everything takes time. You got to start somewhere, right? Got to start from ground zero somewhere. Can you call the Rams and tell them I need Cup anytime to stop avoiding him in the red zone? I feel it. I am literally Rams plus 12 away from hitting a 15 teamer. I need the Rams play, and I didn't hedge the bet because I was like, Rams aren't going to lose by 12, and they're not losing by 12 right now, but they're really
Yeah.
teetering on that total. I actually have the game on right in front of me. I'm gonna turn the Laker game on when that starts. We still got like 20 minutes before that starts, but yeah, I'm watching this. I have this like Rams game in my peripherals, and every time I look up, the Niners are in scoring position, and the Rams are just getting nothing but field goals. It's driving me crazy. But yeah, it's 17-9, so I still got a little leeway. But man, I need this. Like I said, I'd hit a 15 teamer. That'd be beautiful. Um, but yeah, very true. Yeah, see, like I said, we all got to start somewhere. Right? Everyone has steps to climb, uh, and we will get there. We will get there. Yeah, they got lucky. Big feet. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, sticking with the Lakers though, to get back on track is so what other are there any so like for example for me like standouts that I'd really like to see like I really want to see like Kendrick Nunn because obviously the big three are important but
Yeah,
I really want to see Kendrick Nunn and see what he can do. I'd really like to see I mean I think you know what Patrick Beverly is going to give you. I'm not
yeah,
really worried about Patrick Beverly in that regard. I think that you know he's going to give you that high energy, that high tenacity, night in and night out. 3 and D defensive guard. I don't think there's much to like really look out for. Lonnie Walker's injured right now, but at some point, I'd really like to see Walker and see how he performs. Um,
yeah.
you know, JTA, Troy Brown, yeah, but more so, I'm kind of on the Kendrick Nunn, Thomas Bryant, Damian Jones, guys like that, like things like that. I'm really
Yeah.
excited for. Is there any at all, players that you're really looking to see in this preseason kind of stand out?
I'm really looking forward to Austin Reeves. Like,
Austin Reeves.
yeah. No, I like his energy. I like he's smart too. It was really fun. When him and LeBron on the court, like there's a few times where they did that like lineup last year, which I thought was interesting, but it works. Like it really does work. So give him some time to develop and definitely get a 3-point shot underneath him. Oh, I think he's gonna be dangerous. I think he's gonna be dangerous. Like maybe even like bulk up a little bit, just get a little bit more strength.
He did. He bulked up a lot. I mean, it's hard to
Yeah,
tell in like some of the scrimmages and stuff, but like if you look at some of like the just images of him, like he gained some size. He's
yeah,
worked on his 3 point shooting and stuff. He looks good. Like I said, he looks very solid. He looks like somebody
yeah,
that really put the work in, and he's just a high IQ guy. That's what I
yeah.
like about him. He's a guy that just has a high IQ, go and doesn't really make mistakes, takes care of the basketball, knows his role. Like he's one of those role play, like those key role guys that all teams need. You
Yeah,
don't really have to worry about him. He's always gonna, uh, keep you in, and he's always gonna be in position to keep himself in a game. Stuff
yeah.
like that. All of that stuff, I think, is very important for those type of role guys, especially guys like Austin Reeves.
No, yeah, and which pins the question: like, are we going to run the lineup of Westbrook, Schroeder, Reeves, James, and Davis? I think that, like, I don't. It's a smaller lineup, but I think it could work. I want to see it.
I definitely think we could see some spots like that. I think one they're going to try to avoid playing Davis at the five as much as humanly possible because that's where he usually gets banged up and stuff. Um, but beyond that, like
Do
I
you hold on
do,
really quick? Do you think the aggression? Do you think that's because of the aggression? Like, do you think he gets banged up because he's not as aggressive as like a Giannis, or like, do you think like what is it with Davis that like he's just not he's very strong, but it's just not. He looks different when he plays a five. He just looks different than any other five out there. That's yeah,
he just doesn't have good. I just think it's his size and just the way that he lands at times. Because a lot of his injuries are like foot injuries, ankle injuries, stuff like that. It's
yeah,
usually stuff that's just he's like just not he's not landing properly. Like last year's injuries were kind of just freak accidents. Like they were
yeah,
just like one of them was just somebody flew like literally across the court
yeah,
into his like you can't control that. You can't
yeah.
prepare yourself for that. But a lot of the times it's just him like landing on people's feet and him just coming up and just landing wrong or falling to the ground. He's got to stop falling to the ground. I know he's trying to like get the and ones and stuff, but
Yeah,
I'd rather you not try to convince a ref to give you an and one and be able to actually play in the game than you just keep hitting the ground over and over. Like that's how a lot of players end up not being able to stay in games longevity wise.
I feel like it's distracting too, because honestly, like once, like I feel like it's distracting from him actually making the bucket and like converting and getting the
Yeah,
and one. But you look at Tim Duncan. One thing I loved about Tim Duncan is that like his play style was so mundane and boring, but it worked. He was such a fundamental player. Like he didn't really flop. He didn't really do any of the fancy stuff. It was literally like catch the ball, post, and like layup. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just like the off the glass. And like that's why like Tim Duncan is Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I think like the fundamentals work. And if we could see like Anthony Davis just get a little bit more of that, but just get that like a little bit, just a little bit more ferocious.
Yeah, just kind of keep it in tow. Like, yeah, I like like I said, my biggest problem with Davis is like obviously if we're in like a game seven or it's like the finals or something, yeah, you're probably starting Davis at seven, like because now it's go time. You like this is win or go home at this
Yeah,
point. Like if Davis can heal up in the offseason, but if it's 82 games, I think for the most part you do everything you can unless you absolutely have to win.
yeah,
But outside of Westbrook, LeBron, and Davis, I really think the other two guys may be interchangeable based on matchups. So, like, I think some games you
okay,
might see Thomas Bryant start. I think some games you might see Damian Jones start. I think that especially that two spot. Like even if the center position is kind of locked up, like let's say they decide to just start Damian Jones and have Thomas Bryant be the backup for either Davis or Jones, then like fine. But I do think at the very least that two guard spot
yeah,
is a nightly change. I really
yeah,
do. Like, I think that spot is basically just who are we playing and who matches up the best. I
yeah.
think some
So we're
nights you
talking
see
Patrick or Shooter
yeah.
or
Yeah, I could see like Patrick, I could see Kendrick Nunn, I could see cuz right now the starters seem to be Westbrook, Nunn, LeBron Davis and and Damian Jones.
how do
That
you feel
seems to
about
be
that?
this. I like it. I think that
Yeah,
gives you a lot of versatility. I think you got three guys that can handle the ball and from the rebound just go set up plays, establish plays. You got Nunn, who was a 38% 3-point shooter last time. So I think that that's a huge benefit also because you got a guy that can play off the ball as well as play on the ball.
yeah,
He's solid defensively. He's not the greatest defender in the world, but he's solid enough to where he could fit in with the team defense. You got Russ that gives you that element of just go, 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 getting to
high
the hoop
energy.
stuff, yeah, high energy, getting
Yeah,
to the hoop. You got Davis and Damian Jones. Damian Jones is the better defender and shot blocker over Thomas Bryant. Not that Thomas Bryant is like slouch or anything, but Damian
yeah,
Jones is just more energy. So that gives you really high energy, fast, versatile lineup that I really think we could really capitalize on
yeah,
against other teams, and I think match up really well against other teams. And then, like I said, I do see interchangeable parts. I do see a lot of lineups. Like I think Russ runs with the bench guys a lot. Like I really do. I think Russ starts first 6 minutes or whatever, then either him or LeBron come out, and then you go, the other route. You have Russ, that other person starts the second quarter with the bench
yeah.
unit or whatever. Like I think you get a lot of like LeBron and Davis, and then like Russ with like Bev and Walker and like a lot of the just gunner guys. Maybe even
Yeah,
sometimes you'll play, say winning Gabriel at the five. Depending on matchups, but you play winning Gabriel at the five. So now all five of your guys can shoot and run the floor, and
yeah.
you just let Russ go. Let Russ grab the rebound, and everybody just boom. You might not be the
Yeah,
best team in the league, but you'll be the most conditioned and you'll be the fastest. And teams got to keep up with that. That's where I
and that's
think
why
we're
you need
really
the
going.
young players to do that for
Yeah,
real.
that's where I really think we're going to get our most just significant uh, uh, type of scoring and stuff like that is from that.
And
I think it's
yeah,
but
and then you got Winning Gabriel too, which is I'm excited about because he can
yeah,
just like I think he like I think his three shots gonna be crazy this year. I'm
I
excited
hope
for
so. I
it.
mean, the
As much as
only
he's been
thing,
working on it on the off season, I
yeah,
hope.
yeah, and the one thing that Winning Gabriel was asked by the Lakers was to work on your shooting. That was
Yeah,
it. That was the only thing that was that he was asked to do, and according to him, that's all he worked on.
like a
So
thousand shots a day
hopefully,
or something like that. Yeah,
yeah, something crazy. Like, I don't know if it was that, but it was something crazy like that. It's
yeah.
just like he was working a ton of he was throwing up a ton of shots, which is good. And he's watching gameplay stuff like that. So I really like his potential. I really like what he could bring and just the different levels and layers in general that this team has. I think this team goes 10 to 12 guys deep, game in and game out. Um,
Okay.
and I think that's a real benefit of this team. You have a lot of
Yeah.
guys that can just night in and night out play multiple positions, can provide multiple things, and you have enough guys to go that deep. especially in the
Yeah.
regular season. Once you get the playoffs, it's probably getting sewn up to 8 guys. But during the regular season, why not play? Like, especially if everyone can contribute and can contribute in a real way,
Yeah.
why not have everybody play?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's why I think we will, because like Darvin Ham coming from Milwaukee and stuff like that, Milwaukee's really good about that. Like Milwaukee
Yeah.
will play their 15th guy all season, just because they want that depth. The Warriors are famous for that. They
Oh
love,
yeah.
Steve Kerr has been on record saying like, hey, like how can I expect a guy to be ready if he never plays? You know,
Exactly.
and I love
Exactly.
that. Like how can it be next man up mentality if he never gets to touch the basketball court? Like, like,
No.
and he's right. Yeah. But
Yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
he is, and I think like honestly too, like okay, so now if you're in a close game, because I know you talked about doing like that fast running gun lineup of Russ and just up and down the floor, up and down the floor, and just running teams out the gym. Now, if you're in a close game, are you going to go ahead and just like implement that lineup quickly, like maybe first like 3 minutes or so? Or are you going to let your starting five like carry out the majority of like the first quarter? We're talking about like a close game, like within 2 points, within 5 points, like what switch ups are you doing?
I mean, if you're talking early on in the game, you let the game run its course. You know what I mean? Like, so if say you're up three or say you're down three, right,
Yeah.
with like 2 minutes left in the first quarter, you just keep your lineup out there. It's too early in the game. Now, say like to close a half, maybe,
Okay.
maybe you switch it up to kind of just finish strong during the half.
Yeah.
So that way you got that positive going in the locker room. Maybe from like a sort of third quarter perspective, third going into the fourth. Maybe you did he miss it? Thank you. I needed that. Sorry. He just missed the extra point. I needed that bet. Or he just missed the field goal. I needed that
Yeah.
bet for my teaser. But like I think if you're in the third quarter going into like the fourth, maybe you could do that. But
Yeah.
I think Darvin Ham, like if you trust your players, I think you trust them in those moments, especially during an 82 game season. Now, if we're not looking good during the season, like say we're like, you know, say we're 10 and 15 or something like that through the first
Yeah.
25 games,
Mhm.
then yeah, maybe it's time to start, hey, we're it's the second quarter, we're down to like we need to go into half with a big lead, come out strong in the third. So let's start our best players rather than like starting the bench unit in the third or something like that. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like I think things could change, but I think early on you want to show that you can trust guys. You want to show that
Yeah.
like you believe in guys. Like where it's like, whether you're down or up, like I trust you enough to leave you in the game for you to kind of work it out, especially
Yeah. Yeah.
early on, because you want to work out the kinks and stuff. You want to allow your players to kind of go through the trial and error of games and
That's true.
and gain some leads and lose some leads and trust them to make the corrections, stuff like
Yeah.
that. You gotta lose some games to win some.
Yeah.
What's the saying? You got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. Like, and I think that that's the case, especially over an 82 game season. So many people focus so heavily on losses, um, which, you know, I'm sure many of these people are going to see me lose my shit when the Lakers lose sometimes and just see me go on rants and stuff when I'm doing post game live streams and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, but still, I mean, in reality, like losses are good because it helps you. Like, look at the Warriors. Warriors set the record for the season, 73 wins, and they end up losing to LeBron in the finals.
Yeah.
And
Like, I'm not even a Warriors fan. I mean, I like the Warriors, but like that hurts. I don't care who you are. That just hurts.
yeah, well, yeah, it did, and like it's one of those things like you like they basically could have won every game that year, and but that's the problem. When you don't get those losses, you don't know what to correct. You don't know what mistakes you need to do. You don't know, you know, you don't learn from those losses, stuff like that. And all that stuff is very important uh, during the season. obviously you don't want to lose too many games. You don't want to end up miss the,
Yeah.
if you lose, if if you're like I said, if you're 25 and or you're 10 and 25 through
Yeah.
35 games, yeah, that's not what I meant. But you're through the first 20 games, say you're whatever, you're 12 and 8, like don't panic. Like you're still ahead. What could you gain from those losses, stuff like that. And that's what I mean, even through preseason, like whether we win or lose, what can we gain from those things, from those losses? What
Yeah.
is there to really sort of take and build that foundation on,
Yeah.
things like that. But yeah, let's jump into the chat a little bit more here. The game should be starting here very shortly,
Yes,
um,
sir.
and then we'll I'll throw that on. We can kind of talk about that. But where were we in the thing? How much you guys want to bet LeBron will earn a starting spot tonight, JK? Uh, I'm looking forward to K Nunn. I mean, Darvin put him in the starting lineup for a reason, so I'm really high on him, especially now. I mean, I've done nothing but spoken high. I need Kendrick Nunn at this point. I need Nunn to
I
have a
know.
good
Yeah.
season because I have
You,
spoken so
you
insanely
hyped
high.
him up so much.
Yeah. Like if he's terrible this season, I like so many people are gonna be like, "We got the receipts." Like this is what you said. So I'm at the point where I need him to be good, but I do. I really believe in
It's
him. I
okay. You're
really,
good because I'm on record saying that we're gonna get 80 games this season. So,
yeah,
oh, no, what did I
okay,
say? 60. Sorry,
yeah,
60. I said
60,
60.
60.
Yeah, you're
And
all good.
yeah, but it's just it's so yeah. I mean, but no, I'm very high on him, and obviously Ham likes what he saw because he was putting him in the starting lineup. But my heartbeat stops for a millisecond every time AD falls to the floor. Oh my god, right?
Yep.
Seriously, every time you're just like, just you just clinch it, like please. Hey, looking good for that teaser, but saved by a missed field goal. Hey, I love it. I'll take whatever I get. And the Rams are starting to drive now. So if we go get a touchdown, I think I'm pretty good. Because if we go get a touchdown, that would they're gonna go for two. Even if they don't get it, then we'd be down. Oh no, this dude just threw a pick six. Darn it. So much for that. Never mind.
I've came to understand that
Damn it,
like
Pluck
in this season, we just Tom Brady's gonna win another championship, and that's just
up.
it is what it is.
That's just what you got to accept too. Are you
Yeah.
playing the game? I mean, not on stream. Like you can't play it on stream. I know some people will show the like scores and stuff, but like to actually play it on stream, no, you have your whole channel taken down for doing that. Some people that do that, they'll make like 100 channels. So like if their channel gets taken down, it's not a big deal. But yeah, you can't do that on an actual thing. Um, but nonetheless, defense. Defense is going to be the biggest key I need. I need defense throughout the regular season. I need defense throughout the preseason. I need defense, period. We got to be as top 5 to 7
Yeah.
defense. We have to be. Because if we're not, look, I don't think we're going to have problems scoring. I really don't. I think we're going to be fine scoring the basketball.
Yeah.
But we need to be able to stop the other team. If we score 114 points, we need to keep them under 113 because that's how you win in the game of basketball. You score
Yeah.
more points than your opponent. And I do think we have a lot of really good defensive guys. I think we got a lot of really good guys that can guard multiple positions, do multiple things. I think our team defense will be very strong. But what
You,
what do you want from the Lakers from the defensive end?
uh, just honestly, just more hustle, getting back, fast breaks, because last year we allowed quite a few fast break points. But no, it would be kind of cool too, like just give Pat kind of like that leadership defensive role. You know what I mean? Just kind of like he's kind of like their leader and like their sole go-to person on defense. I just want to see him just because I do think he is arguably the best defender they have, and I know I'm going to get some pushback from that from everybody, but no, because honestly, just give him like the keys, just give him the full reign, let him run the defense, let him switch up, plays, let him switch up, defensive like lineups. I think that is the way to go. So literally just kind of like I don't know, Richard Sherman for the Seahawks. You know how he would just kind of like that,
Yeah,
the leader. But no, like the Legion of Boom. That's like just get that mentality. You know what I mean? Or like a Ray
yeah,
Lewis with the Ravens. You know what I mean? So like just get that mentality. Just like, hey guys, like shut it down.
Yeah, yeah. I do. I don't think you're too far off on Patrick Beverly being the best defender. Like I've mentioned this before. Patrick Beverly and Anthony Davis are two of the top five guys as the nearest defender. So I mean that's huge for a team, especially
Yeah,
both of them are on the court. I wouldn't be shocked if our closing lineup is Patrick Beverly, Dennis Schroeder, say whoever, Winning Gabriel if he can actually knock down threes, or Walker, and then I think it'll be Anthony Davis and then Damian Jones. And I think
yeah,
you basically have five guys on the
yeah,
court that could all
exactly.
defend. You got five guys on the court that could all shoot. Five guys on the court that could do a little bit of everything. So I definitely think that could be our closing lineup. Again, I think it just depends. Like obviously, like if Russ is killing it, why wouldn't you have him finish the game? Especially if he's playing defense and buying in stuff like that, why not have him finish the game? I think it just depends, like who's the hot hand, who's out there that's really helping with this team, stuff like that in general. Um, I think just a game in and game out, night in and night out. I think it all just kind of depends on what's out there. What are our options that
Yeah,
night? Does Walker have the hot hand tonight? Well, you should probably keep him in the game. Is it Troy Brown? Troy Brown say 6 of 7 from three. Like, why wouldn't you? Why would you take that guy out of the game? You know what I mean?
Trey Brown's came so far.
Yes, I do. I think he has potential to really be a contributor this year. I think you can make an argument for every guy on this roster to
Yeah,
be somebody that can be a factor and contributor. And I'm not saying to like a level of like just something, being a superstar or something. I just mean to the level of like, being a contributor in the minutes that they're in the game, stuff like that.
yeah,
I think that's all stuff that you need. You need to be able to look at your roster and go, okay, my 13th or 14th guy could be a guy that can really help
yeah.
in these moments, in these situations, stuff like that.
And just do
Uh,
your like honestly, just do your job. Follow your
yeah,
role. Do your job. You know.
exactly. Just take it a day at a time. Oh, we got the games on. All right, cool. I don't want to watch me lose a bunch of money on a live stream. So let's turn on the late game. Where is that at? Where did that go? Hang on. Oh no. There we go. All right. But back to where, yeah. All right. There we go. Wait, why didn't that work? And bear with me for a second. Um, while I multitask here, um, how much how much value do you put in coaching? Because I think that's a big thing that a lot of people kind of.
I I put it pretty good value. Because I don't think without proper coaching, you can win championships. I think you have to have the proper coach in place to be able to see defensive, match or just see defensive like schemes, be able to manipulate that, see offensive, plays and just like just like determine like the little things like okay, like they're running the same offensive play every single time, let's just find figure out a way to stop it. But I think more so too, coaching is only effective when you have players that are coachable. You know,
Yeah, of course.
and I don't think that like there's some superstars and some players out there that are not coachable, so that's what makes it kind of hard. Also, too, I think the players have to be able to coach themselves. Because if they're solely just relying on the coach to tell them what to do in the lineup, and they're not, kind of coaching each other on the floor, I feel like it doesn't. Whatever the coach is implementing, it doesn't really go that far.
Yeah.
So, no, I put a great stock in it. I mean, even to all the greatest coaches, I don't think you could probably replace that great, Lakers dynasty in, the 2000, sorry, yeah, 2000, 2001, and 2002. You could replace Phil Jackson with any coach in the league, even now, and they probably don't win those. They probably don't repeat.
Oh yeah,
So,
coaching is an absolute huge factor in anything. I really do. I think people need to put more into coaching. I've talked about like there's a reason professionals need to have coaches. There's a
yeah,
reason that the greatest players in the world have to have coaches, and you'll see unless you're LeBron James. I mean, look at even the great dynasties. Like Jordan had Phil Jackson, Kobe and Shaq had Phil Jackson, the Spurs had Pop, all of those things are
Yeah.
huge factors for this team. AD draining it. We're looking good so far, 7-3. 7-3.
AJ,
Let's go.
is he shooting
None
threes?
No, none hit the three earlier, and then I
Okay.
missed the first bucket. I don't know who hit the first bucket, but none hit a three. I saw that, and then Davis hit. Davis just hit a nice little fadeaway, little floater. So our fadeaway shot, nice. Backed him down. Look at it, boom, boom. Back him down, back him down, back him down. Too little. Fadeaway, help defense, nothing. Hand down, man down.
Hand
Um,
down, man down. Got
but
him.
yeah, I'll be the commentary here. Hand down, man down. But
I know we need
yeah,
to get
no,
you a job at ESPN.
I know, right? Get me that commentary up. Good take, Russ. And one. Look at Russ doing the rock. Rock. Look, beautiful. I like that. I like that.
Wow,
But
already? Hey.
but anyway, I'm glad to see Lakers are looking good. They're established. This is stuff I want to see though. When we're talking through the scope of the game, I want to see these guys really showing those adjustments, showing those improvements, showing stuff. And Russ made a free throw. I love it. I love it. But yeah, like I really
I
want to
hope
see.
LeBron has been working on his free throw shooting. Please, 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 please.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I do. I know we need to see LeBron knocking down threes, but I do. I think we're. It's always good to look and find positives. Good defense. See, this is what I like to see. Playing good defense. Russ with the ball. Let's see. Uh, oh, good dime. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love seeing the patience. You got Russ being patient. I love it. Called
So we
timeout.
got
Good.
we got the starting five out there right now, right?
Yeah, yeah. We got the starting five out there right now. Um, I love it. Love seeing that stuff. But anyway, to get back to the conversation, took a little break for that game, and just in general, like I was talking about coaching. Like I do, I think coaching is very important, very significant. It's things. Coaching is a real factor in every aspect in every sport. That's why coaches get paid millions upon millions of dollars and all that stuff because you need good coaching. You need coaches that can really sort of change the tides of games and make the adjustments and see the plays. Because even as a player, when you're going through the motions in real time, it's
Yeah,
hard to always notice all the ins and outs rather than a guy standing on the sidelines,
yeah,
stuff like that, and knowing, okay, like this is a bad matchup here. Let me swap that. This is not good here. Let me swap that. All of
yeah,
those things. I think that's like, and just having guys establishing the culture and establishing the buy-in and things like that, I think are very important as well. And it's something that can't go unnoticed, unchecked, so to speak.
yeah,
Because you need to establish a good culture and a good environment and be a leader amongst, because as much as it doesn't seem like it, you got to remember all these guys are kids. Like, I mean, like LeBron is a dinosaur in NBA years, and he's not even 40 yet. Like he's
yeah.
not. He's hitting middle age for most people. Like most
Exactly.
people have
Yeah,
another 30 years of work ahead of them. At LeBron's age, but it's it's about having that guy, that voice in the locker room, that person that can, like I said, set the tone, that can
yeah,
establish the lineups, that can see the things that the players might not be able to see. Um, all of those things are very important and very significant when you're talking about like especially the game of basketball, where as much as football is a game of inches, basketball
yeah,
is a game of just moments. You see, like, look at we talked about the Warriors game, right? Like that LeBron James block. What would have happened without that LeBron James block on Andre Iguodala? Like, what would it, like? Who knows what? It's these moments, especially when you're talking elite teams versus elite teams. It's who makes the mistake first. Who
yeah,
makes the bad thing, and like that was the thing that we saw with Darvin Ham. I mean, sorry, Frank Vogel. Like he just you could tell that he lost the locker room. You could tell that he failed to make adjustments. Like there was never really a game last year where you could say like, man, Frank Vogel really outcoached the other team's
Yeah,
coach. Like it's just like even coaches that you don't even consider good coaches, like he wasn't even able to outcoach them. And
that's true.
and that's a good way to kind of lose your culture and environment and things like that.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, it's just it is. It's one of those things where I think Darvin Ham's going to have these guys really bought in. I think Darvin Ham's really going to have these guys um, understanding their roles too. That was a huge thing that we didn't have last year. We
yeah,
didn't have it seemed like no one understood their role. No one knew what they were supposed to do, where they were supposed to be, what their job was, what their goal was. Like, how many times do we see Russ just completely taken out of plays? Like, I'm watching this on my peripherals. You see Russ, like, yeah, like there's moments where he's standing in the corner, getting ready for spot us, but you see him like earlier, there were times where he was cutting and slashing to the hoop and stuff like that. Like all of that stuff is good. He's getting to spots, he's getting the points, he's doing this, he's doing that. Like that's what you need
yeah.
from these players.
I got it
You
on too, by the way.
oh yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what you need from the from a just a player standpoint. You need
Yeah,
guys to understand. Okay, this is my role. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. Now,
yeah.
and last year we just really didn't have that. Uh, that was too easy of a bucket. But I did like the help defense on the blind side. He just read it good. But yeah,
Come on, AD,
you know,
you gotta stick that screen. And LeBron for the three. Oh, he just got blocked. Or I think it was a foul.
you better make all three of those. I need all three of those free throws. Here, let's see. Let's see if he makes these.
I know. This is the moment of truth. Moment of
This
truth, guys.
here we go.
LeBron at the free throw line. Let's see what he does. He gets 3 shots. Okay, first one, no good.
It's not what you want to see. Not what you want to see.
No, it is not. No, it is not. See, you know what? I always say this too. Like, there's different types of misses. Like, there really is. Like,
You
the
have
way the
one
ball,
job, damn
right? The way the ball. Did you make the second one? I didn't see it.
it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, he
Oh,
made the
okay.
second
The game just fast forward for me. Okay.
one.
Yeah. Oh, AD with the rebound. Let's go.
He made 2 out of 3, which is good. I'll take that.
Oh, wait, that is not AD. Wait, where is it? Oh,
No, yeah, that's AD.
yeah, that
He's
is
just
AD.
got different hair this year.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's looking like Rasheed Wallace.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Don't. This is what I'm talking about. Hitting the ground. Stay off the ground. Like you don't have to hit the ground every possession. Like
Ooh.
good D.
Whoa, that didn't go in? Okay.
Oh,
All right.
dang! Come on, quit botching layups. Make your
That's
layups.
that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that did not go in.
Yeah,
LeBron just went up for a layup. Nice cut too, but it didn't go in.
yeah. Oh, too easy.
All right, Russ, where we at? Oh, good pass, Russ.
I like to see it. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, love to see that.
he is good ball movement, good
Okay,
swinging.
have you noticed AD's moving a lot more? I mean, this is like I said, this is only preseason
Yeah,
game one,
but see, this is what I'm talking about. Like you see, the guy that brings in the ball, he's cutting. He's not just standing there. He's doing stuff. There's things
yeah.
like there's movement, there's plays in them.
Oh, there you go. For leaving the ground again, you see that again
Yeah.
for us. Stay us. Yeah, you trying to pump it every time.
But anyway, I think this is a good point. So that way we can talk backstage about the game and stuff. Just because I don't want to get
Yeah.
too crazy with it. But anyway, thank you all so very much for hanging out with us. Really do appreciate it. You guys are all very awesome, and we
Yes,
will see
sir.
you all in the next one. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Till next time.
Next
Peace.
time.